Hello everyone and welcome back to Deathtrap Dungeon. When we last left off, we just encountered the ninja, the dark assassin, and unlike all the previous contestants or competition that we have in this year's Trial of Champions, he attacked us on sight without provocation. We don't know why, but he paid a high price for it. Now he's dead. And with that, we have actually met all of the other contestants. They're all dead now. And so it's up to us to finish this quest. We have recuperated a bit. We are quite badly beaten up. But anyway, we are ready to proceed. We are going to leave the hole and take the diamond with us from the ninja had on his body. If you recall, he picked it up from the treasure chest a few rooms back. So let's see where we proceed from here. The only possible way out of the hole, as far as we can see, is by using the chute in the northern wall. We decide to give it a go and climb into the chute. We slide gently down and emerge into another room, landing on our back. Alright? This seems to be a point of no return, not that we would want to return. And yeah, that's it. Fortunately, at least we did not get wounded or hurt in this slide. Let's see where we are now. As soon as we stand up, we are confronted by the most repulsive sight we have ever laid eyes on. There, in front of us, wallowing in a circular pool of fetid slime, is a bulbous creature too horrible to be believed. Its body is green and covered all over with fearsome-looking spikes. Its face is a mass of crimson blisters, one of which suddenly bursts to reveal yet another of its many sinister, all-seeing eyes. And we know that that's not true. I mean, the eyes are not all-seeing, they are decoy eyes, specifically designed or evolved to protect the only weak spot of this creature, the Bloodbeast, which are its real eyes. Anyway, a narrow path runs around the edge of the pool and leads into another tunnel in the far wall. Fortunately, we have previously read details about this loathsome Bloodbeast in a leather-bound book, and so we know that the weak spot of a Bloodbeast is its real eyes, and otherwise it's a pretty formidable creature. We have learned a lot of other interesting details about this creature as well. So let's see how we proceed from here. Remembering the description of the vile Bloodbeast and the warning about toxic gas rising from its pool, we cover our mouth with our sleeve, which is a great idea, and step forward with our sword drawn. That's another great idea. Wary of the Bloodbeast's tongue. Yep, because we know that its tongue is its primary means of attack. As we step round the side of its pool, it rolls forward and flicks out its tongue, but we are ready for it and cleave it with one swipe of our sword. We are awesome like that. Alright, so far so good. The beast howls in pain and stretches forward frantically, trying to clasp us between its blood-filled jaws. That's quite a disturbing image. We start hacking at its hideous face in an attempt to pierce its real eyes. Alright, it seems that we must fight this creature. There is no way to avoid this, and this is supposed to be a very powerful creature by the description in the leather-bound book, so let's see how it goes. Alright, let's see how tough this guy really is. And it is tough. It has a skill of 12, and it outskills us by 1 point because we have 10 plus 1 skill points. So let's see how it goes. Ouch. Alright, that's a draw. That's another draw. We hit it, and we hit it again. And this battle has lasted long enough, surprisingly. Because as soon as we win our second attack round, we need to turn the page. I'm a bit disappointed that we did not get an illustration, but the front cover of the book itself is depicts the Bloodbeast. So we have seen it at the beginning, and we are going to see it once again after the end of our adventure. So what happened now? Our blade strikes one of the Bloodbeast's real eyes with devastating effect. It slumps back into its pool, thrashing about in a frenzy. We seize the opportunity, we seize our opportunity, and run round the side of the pool to the tunnel exit. Alright, that sounds great. Hopefully this was the final guardian to the exit of this dungeon. Apparently it wasn't. The tunnel leads into a large room, its ceiling supported by several marble pillars. As we enter the room, we suddenly see a strange beast to our right. It has the body of a lion, with dragon-like wings attached to it, but its head is like that of an old bearded man. It also has obviously a scorpion tail, which for some reason is not mentioned in the text. We know this beast, it's a manticore, we have read about it. We have read the poem written on the Skeleton Warrior's parchment, if you recall. It was in kind of a limerick. And the poem went... Wow, it's all jumbled up, but the poem went something like, should you meet the manticore, of its tail beware, shield yourself against the spikes, flying through the air. Right, everybody is a poet in here. So we know what this beast is and what it is about. We recognize the beast. It is a manticore. Taking heed of the poem's warning, we watch out for its tail, which sprouts a profusion of sharp spikes, thick and hard as iron bolts at its tip. Right. We have a shield, so we must choose this option. We had the option to the possibility to throw it across the chasm, if you recall, quite a long way back, but we chose not to do that. I don't know if we could have lost our shield any other way, but anyway, we still have it with us. We haven't picked up any further shields, but we have our own trusty one. So what happens now? We raise our shield in front of us, just in time to protect ourselves from a volley of spikes released from the manticore's tail and aimed straight at our heart. They sink into our shield and we remain unharmed. Swiftly we draw our sword and advance on the manticore. Alright? It seems that we must fight once again. Let's see how it goes. Alright. This beast has a skill level of 11, so it's quite powerful. We also have a skill level of 11, 10 plus 1, so we're evenly matched. It goes down in 6 hits, whereas we go down in 4, so it's actually an advantage. I'm not going to use up any luck rolls because our luck is pitiful as it is already, so let's see how we go. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch to it, I mean. Right. One final hit. And it's down. We won. As we are wiping the manticore's blood from our sword, we are surprised to see a small man with a large nose suddenly jump out from behind one of the marble pillars. He is dressed in a tight-fitting green tunic and looks quite harmless, although we are wary of the way he is holding an opaque glass bowl with a shimmering green light. "Greetings," he says cheerfully. "My name is Igbud the Gnome, and I am the trial master for your final test. Needless to say, my magical powers are great, so you should not try to attack me. You may have learned during your quest that gems play an essential part in the trial of champions. The iron door in front of you is the victory exit, but there is only one way of opening it. 3 gems have to be put into the lock mechanism in a particular order for the door to open. Each gem radiates a unique energy, which will trigger the mechanism if you do it correctly, that is. I will help you to a degree, but first we need the correct gems." Alright, before we proceed, and because he asks, "Have you an emerald?" And we do have an emerald, but before we do that, this is the final exit. So we finally got to the final exit. We are facing the final challenge of this dungeon. And yeah, it looks quite formidable. And this gnome is the final trial master and the last obstacle to overcome. Alright, so first of all, we have an emerald, obviously. So we shall give it to the gnome. The gnome smiles and says, "Good! Now, have you a sapphire in your possession?" We do. The emerald was from the eye of the idol from the beginning of our adventure, if you recall. The sapphire was a later acquisition. We found it on the floor, basically, beyond the grill, if I recall correctly. The gnome, still smiling, says excitedly, "Excellent! Just one more to go! Do you possess a diamond?" We sure do. We have found a diamond lifted off the corpse of the ninja at the beginning of this very episode, so quite recently. The gnome jumps in the air, yelling, "Well done! Nobody has ever managed to find all 3 gems before. Now get ready for the final test, which I will explain once and once only. As you can see, the lock on this door has 3 slots, labeled A, B, and C, each of which is built to accept a specific gem. You have to put one of your 3 gems in each of the slots in the correct order. If you manage this at the first attempt, fine. However, if you put the gems in the wrong slots, you will be blasted by a bolt of energy from the lock, causing you injury. Anyway, as I said, I am allowed to help you a little. If you place one gem in its correct slot, but get the other 2 wrong, I shall shout, 1 crown and 2 skulls. If you place all 3 gems incorrectly, I shall shout, 3 skulls. You will be allowed to try again and again until you either succeed or die. Are you ready?" Well, not really. I mean, we are pretty badly bruised up, but there is no other way to proceed, so we signal our readiness with a nod of the head and walk forward to place the 3 gems in the slots. Now we must decide which gems we will place in the labeled slots A, B, and C. And all the options are available here, but for some reason, I know one thing, I'm going to put sapphire first. I don't know why, but I think sapphire should go first. So obviously that leaves us with 2 options, and I don't know, this is the first one on the list. Also, diamonds are great, so probably it's like the least valuable to the most valuable, perhaps. Let's try this one, see if it works out. We just have time to hear the gnome yell, 3 crowns, before the lock clicks open. Alright, we actually got the correct combination. As the heavy door swings slowly outwards, the gnome rushes towards it, hurling the glass ball at our feet. Green gas escapes from the broken glass, and we try to avoid inhaling it. We should test our luck roll here, but we are not going to do that, because in fact I'm 100% certain that after this luck roll we are finally out and we have won this adventure, this quest. So instead, I'm going to make one final cut of the video right here, and I thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you at the conclusion of this lengthy and interesting adventure. Bye bye.